Alright, so is everyone's summer going good?
Yay!
Yay! Well, as you can tell, I just went to Disney and I was super excited.
Oh, yay!
Did you take that? Yeah, I did. It's beautiful.
Was that one of your family members over there?
No. Oh, no.
Did you really take a picture?
Yeah. So, what have we been talking about this summer? What has it been about? Just shout it out. Anyone remembers? Jesus. Okay, we're getting there. Specifically, what do you say I am? Does anyone remember what all the weeks were about?
I don't remember what. Like, he's a family man?
He's a family man. What else? What else does he say he is?
What was the song?
Yeah, there's one that says like someone to be desperate for.
Desperate. Be desperate for him.
Something about like he's not bad, so he's good. He's a definition of good. Good. Oh yeah. All right. Who doesn't he like? Who doesn't he like?
Satan.
Satan. So he wants to. He wants to
destroy
destroy the devil's work because he did by coming on the cross. Oh yeah, the true mission. Yeah. He's also someone who does supernatural acts. Okay, so this is for Christine Frank. You like X-Files?
I know X-Files.
I know you don't. I actually watched it for the first time and hear knowledge because I used to be afraid of the X-Files because of the music. Alright, has anyone seen this movie?
Yes!
It's a great movie. Alright, so right here we have the original Dumbledore, and on the other side we have Gandalf the Grey. That is Lord of the Rings for anyone who doesn't know.
I didn't know.
Sorry, some people don't watch movies like me. It's okay.
Oh my.
I decided I googled this and it popped up. It reminds me of Jordan Jones. Superman Returns. So, yeah, that was his famous pose. I was trying to get at that. That's Batman. I thought that looked pretty cool.
Yeah, that does look really cool.
Alright, that's it. Alright, so now I'm going to read this story about a guy named Mark Gala. And he wrote this book, Jesus Mean and Wild. And I'm going to read a little passage that he wrote in this book. And this comes from when a group of Laotians came to his church and they were wondering what to preach about and talk about like in a small group type thing. And so they decided to do like a study on Mark. And this is what he wrote. It says, after he read the passage in which Jesus calms a storm, I began as I usually did, with more theologically sophisticated groups. I asked them about the storms in their lives. There was a puzzled look among my Laotian friends, so I collaborated. We all have storms, problems, worries, troubles, crises. And this story teaches that Jesus can give us peace in the midst of those storms. So what are your storms? I asked. Again, more puzzled silence. Finally, one of the men hesitatingly asked, do you mean that Jesus actually calmed the wind and the sea in the middle of the storm? I thought he was finding the story incredulous, and I didn't want to get distracted with the problem of miracles. So I replied, yes, but we should not get hung up on the details of the miracle. We should remember that Jesus can calm the storms in our lives. Another stretch of awkward silence ensued until another replied, well, if Jesus calmed the wind and the waves, he must be a very powerful man. At this, they all nodded vigorously and chatted excitedly to one another in Lao. Except for me, the room was full of awe and wonder. I suddenly realized that they grasped the story better than I did, and I finally acknowledged, yes, Jesus is a very powerful person. In fact, Christians believe he is the creator of heaven and earth, and thus, of course, he has power over the wind and the waves. Okay. And if we're all gonna be honest, like we're a lot like Mark. Like, why do we struggle to believe the literal power of Jesus Christ? Like, does anyone want to guess at that question? Why do we find it so hard to believe that he can actually do this?
It's beyond our understanding. Our brains are just so tiny compared to what he can do and we hear he can do, but our brains are like, what? What does that even mean? Like, are you serious? So I think a lot of people just struggle with believing in that because our brains are so small and he's so powerful.
We can't see it, feel it, touch it, or taste it. So we want to believe it's there, but because we're of the world, it's not tangible and we can't put our hands on it. So it's a hard thing to grasp.
Did you want to add something, Audrey? Okay. Matt?
I think we want to believe that we're the sole masters of our own destiny.
Yeah.
Yeah, we sometimes get the idea that we can be our own saviors, and that's not so much true. I know I can't save myself.
I think sometimes we read the stories out of the Bible, and especially we've been in church for a lot of years of our lives. We hear it and we believe it. We know he calmed the storm. We know he healed the crippled man. But then we don't often translate that to how does that affect us. I can believe that Jesus did all that, but can I actually believe he'll solve my problems? And I think kind of making that connection that he really has the ability to do that and he really will do it in my life is where I sometimes don't make the transition.
And I know a lot of times we tend to think that all this is just a fairy tale. Like all these are just stories. And the thing is, they're not. So I mean, some of the things in the Old Testament, yeah, or the New Testament, that is, like Jesus talks about parables. Yeah, those are stories. But like things like him literally calming the storm, that's not a story. Like that's something that's nonfiction. And it's really hard for us to grasp our tiny little minds on that one thing. And so now we're going to turn to the actual story and read the story. From Matthew 8:23 through 27. It's a sweet storm's calm. Yay! Matthew 8:23. If you guys are lost or confused, it's about here in the Bible. So, on my Bible, it is on page 1300.
Mine's on 14.
Mine's 5. Mine's on 10.
Okay, thank you.
Everyone good?
I was just testing you all, so it's actually up here too. Alright. I just wanted to prove that I wasn't just Googling this, that it actually exists in a book.
I love you, Lillian.
8:23. And then he got into his boat, and his disciples followed him. Without warning, a furious storm came up on the lake, so that the waves swept over the boat. But Jesus was sleeping. The disciples went and woke him, saying, "Lord, save us. We're going to drown." He replied, "You have little faith. Why are you so afraid?" Then he got up and rebuked the winds and the waves, and it was completely calm. The men were amazed and asked, "What kind of man is this? Even the winds and the waves obey him." That's like me all the time. Like, oh my gosh, I'm like this little fraidy cat. Like, I'm scared of like everything. Like, all right, let's talk about heights for instance. Like, I can stand on top of something. Stood on top of a cliff before I've thrown my legs over the edge. I'm fine. When it comes to strapping me in a harness and actually getting lowered, oh, I can't do that. But TBR, I couldn't repel. I can't. They try to get me to repel off a waterfall once or some like 90-foot cliff in Tennessee. That would never happen. All right. So that was just an example of one of the supernatural feats that he did. And most of us, like, I think one of you were saying that he does a lot of healing. Like, we hear stories about him, how he healed. And so we're going to look at a couple of those. That's a picture of healing. Yay! Actually, I have it written down in here. Alright, so we're going to read the story of the leprosy on Matthew 8:1-4, so that should be on the same page or the page over.
What was it?
Matthew 8:1-4. Hold on, disciple 1 through 3, because 4 is saying it. Alright. When he came down from the mountainside, large crowds followed him. A man with leprosy came and knelt before him and said, Lord, if you are willing, you can make me clean. Jesus reached out his hand and touched the man. I am willing, he said. Be clean. Immediately he was cured of his leprosy. And so that's just a basic story. Not story, truth, just kidding. Another one's Matthew 8:14 through 16. So that's 2 chunks below it. It's got it in the Bible, Jesus heals many. Alright, it says, when Jesus came into Peter's house, he saw Peter's mother-in-law lying in bed with a fever. He touched her hand, and the fever left her, and she got up and began to wait on him. When the evening came, many who were demon-possessed were brought to him, and he drove out their spirits with a word and healed all the sick. Alright, and everyone still with me?
Yeah.
Heals. He's a father of healing. Alright. Not that. Alright, so the next thing we're going to look at is how he's done supernatural acts that have nothing to do with healing. Yeah, oh, I took that at Disney too. It was in the agricultural place, the land. Picture of fish, I have no idea what kind they were. Alright, and so the next story is going to come from Luke 5:4 through 7.
What again?
Luke chapter 5.
Matthew, Mark, Luke.
Yes. One of the Gospels.
Luke what again?
5. Feel like possessing. I'll just read it up here. When he finished speaking, he said to Simon, Put out into deep water and let down the nets for a catch. Simon answered, Master, we've worked hard all night and haven't caught anything. But because you say so, I will let down all the nets. When they had done so, they caught such a large number of fish that their nets began to break. So they signaled their partners in the other boat to come and help them. And they came and filled both boats so full that they began to sink. And so that's something that's crazy and hard to comprehend. So here they are, there's just a couple dudes in a boat, like their job is to catch fish, and that's how they're going to survive. And at that moment in time, they haven't been able to catch anything. Then here comes Jesus along, he's like, yeah, just throw your nets, whatever, fishing poles, whatever you guys best relate with. And so the guys are just like, what are you talking about? Like, there's no fish out here, like, you're crazy. But since he's Jesus, they did it anyways, and because of that, like, they were extremely blessed, and they caught so many fish that the boat began to sink. Like, Titanic, it was just going down. Alright, so the next one is from Matthew 14, verse 15. Go back to Matthew. It's a good book. Yes, give it a chance. That's what 14 I said. Yeah, 14, 15. This is a great story. Whatever. Call it story.
Chapter 14.
Verse 15. Yeah. Some of you have heard it. It's pretty famous. Jesus feeds the 5,000. Alright. Someone still with me?
We're with you.
Good. I would have still gone if you weren't. That's okay. It's okay, that's what PowerPoint's for. Alright. As evening approached, the disciples came to him and said, There's a remote place, and it's already getting late. Send the crowds away so they can go to the villages and buy themselves some food. Jesus replied, They do not need to go away. You give them something to eat. We have here only 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish, they answered. Bring them here to me, he said. And he directed the people to sit down in the grass. Taking the 5 loaves and the 2 fish and looking up to heaven, he gave thanks and broke the loaves. Then he gave them to the disciples, and the disciples gave them to the people. They all ate and were satisfied. And the disciples picked up 12 basketfuls of broken pieces that were left over. The number of those who ate was about 5,000 men, besides women and children. So there's a lot of key words in this. All right, first of all, there's